everybody. Welcome to episode number 100. Applause. Yes, applause.
The Vince Offer Show.
The amazing thing is, tomorrow when you watch us, there will be applause. It's just going to magically appear there. We're going to start by going around the table. Everybody introduce yourselves. I think everybody but Marlon's been on here before. So, Marlon, maybe you take a little bit more time and talk about how you're ditching the Cardinals to be a Cub fan. That would be nice. But everybody just kind of reintroduce yourself. So we'll start with Marlon. Go ahead and let us know a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Marlon Dixon. Live here in Paragould, Arkansas. I've been a lifelong Cardinal fan. Love baseball, but really love the Cardinals. So sorry about that Cub thing. That just cannot happen. But yeah, I listen to the show occasionally. I try to keep up with you guys. Enjoy that. But yeah, looking forward to sitting around talking a little baseball. I'm not real informative, and this is a new format for me, so we'll have fun though.
Yeah,
welcome
enjoy.
aboard, Marlon.
It's nothing too difficult. Ray, reintroduce yourself, even though we've talked about you the last couple of weeks because you sent a very intriguing message about your thoughts on the sixth inning pitching deal. But reintroduce yourself, everybody else.
Okay, I'm Ray Hartman from DeSoto, Missouri. I worked with JJ for about almost 30 years, right, JJ?
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while, but anyway, big baseball enthusiast, mainly a Cardinal fan, but I do like other teams. Go ahead and boo me. I like the Yankees too. So, but if I lived in New York, I'd have to be a Yankees fan. I'd say that.
Hmm.
I just like the players. They always get the greatest players. I don't know why. Maybe they got money. I don't know. But anyway, just happy to be on the 100th episode. Congrats, you guys, by the way, on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Shannon, reintroduce yourself.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Shannon Logan. I live in St. Louis, Missouri, and I have been a lifelong Cardinal fan. Have been watching Cardinal baseball since I was 7, 8, and but I do love baseball too, so I can appreciate Vince's passion for the Cubbies, I guess.
It's a passion like no other. Max, you haven't been on here for like 8 months. Reintroduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Max. I'm Vincent's son. I used to be a frequent contributor, but I've been very busy lately, so now I'm a less frequent contributor, but I'm still glad to be on here.
Very good. And JJ, who's that good-looking guy next to you?
Oh, yeah, this guy here, I dug him out of the streets. He's one of the participants in our Fantasy World Series, and yeah, one of my favorite kids right here, Brody Jackson. You want to tell me about yourself?
Yeah, I'm from Potosi, Missouri, obviously, but I just kind of, as long as I've been alive, I couldn't really name many other teams except for the Cardinals for most of my life. But if I happened to become a Cubs fan, I probably would have had a one-way ticket to the fire station. So I guess I've kind of been bred into the Cardinal family. But
Yeah, that's third generation Cub fan here, probably fourth generation. I don't know about my great grandfather, but yeah. So let's just start. Everybody, what are your thoughts on your team's season? Being both the Cardinals and the Cubs season is basically over. We're not going anywhere. What are your thoughts of the season as a whole for your team?
Well, I guess I'll start off, Vince. I'm happy with the season. We improved from last year. We're still not where everybody as a fan is used to being, but I'm okay with that. I think we just have a few little pieces to put together, and we'll be right back there at the top.
That's very optimistic. Very good.
I disagree, but this is Shannon. I would like, I mean, I don't totally disagree, but at this point, I would like to opt out of making any comments because, as I understand it, I'm not allowed to curse on this podcast. So I'm going to pass the ball.
So one a little more pessimistic.
Well, I agree that we're better than we were last year, and it's just been almost a tale of two seasons, uh, and it's alternated. It's been up, it's been down. You play better than any team in baseball for a few weeks, and then you're right back down again. So just I'm looking forward to next year. Hope we put some pieces together and can make another run next year.
Nice. More optimism.
I think we were the greatest inconsistent team that might have ever seen the MLB. I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind. Around was it like July or something? We were going to win the division. We were going to make it, and here we are. We're going the same place as the White Sox at the end of the season. We're all going home. So, I was kind of disappointed, but it was a hopeful disappointment.
Yeah, my one take on the Cardinals season is that they need to stop trading away all their outfielders and watching them become really good players for other teams. Um, as far as the
Valid.
Cubs season goes, it's been a little bit disappointing. I think everyone who followed the team really closely in their minor league system thought that they'd be a little bit better this year, and they have been better than last year, but they just had a god awful April and March, and that kind of sunk the team. And ever since then they've been playing better, but it's just kind of like, man, like if we just didn't have those two poor months, we'd probably be, at least in the wild card race.
Well, Vince, you know me, I'm internally optimistic. I don't care if I'm the last man standing, we're going to win this thing. And I'll be honest with you, we're one more games than we did last year. So to answer your question, I said all along, I thought we were a 500 club this year, maybe 4 games over, 4 games under, but we would have a better year than last year. We've got some prospects that are coming up. The Cardinals have always, since I followed them since 1974, it seems like we come up with catchers, outfielders, and shortstop. I remember for years there'd be 6 or 7 guys that came up through our organization that catcher, outfield, and shortstop would be all over the league. But we have trouble developing pitchers. We've always had that. It's been going on for near 50 years now. I mean, occasionally we get a John Denny or a Gibson or a Carlton or something like that, but few and far between. So I know they've been drafting pitchers, and usually they end up in the bullpen and they do a pretty good job. But it's just been very inconsistent, and I think I'm glad that Mozeliak's got about 1 year left. I'd like to see new blood go in there, and let's see what happens. I still love him, but it's been rough this year because it just seems like, we got a young team. A lot of people don't realize that. I know we got Goldschmidt and Arenado and Contreras, but the Cardinals, for the most part, except for our starting pitchers that we went and picked up, are a very young team. So I'm excited about the future, and we've got more outfielders coming. We got more. So yes, they've missed on a few. I don't think Tommy Edman's going to hit 5 home runs in 7 games again. I like him as a player, but I think Sagis was the reason that we could move Edman. So I think there's a plan in place, and I like the young players coming, and I think the future's bright. I think we'll even be better next year. I'm hoping so anyway. So that's my take, Vince.
Last week when we were playing the Dodgers, oh, how nice. Tommy Edmonds playing center field for the Dodgers. Oh, that's cool. Anyone to hit 2 home runs off of us. So,
y'all were the team he did that.
Yeah.
yeah. My take on the Cubs season is if, and I preface this by saying every team deals with injuries, but we were so injured with our bullpen sprinkled in with Steele, Wicks, some starting pitching, some guys that were supposed to help in the rotation, Killian and Brown, who went down. Kate Horton was supposed to be up by the end of the season. He's out. I'm actually one of the few Cub fans that is kind of happy with this season. We're probably going to end up over 500, and with the way our pitching staff has been devastated, I'm pretty happy with that. as far as the Cardinals go, yeah, they had a better season. Um, I'm still quite fuzzy on where they are going with starting pitching. If they're going to re-sign one or two of these older pitchers, or if they're going to trade and try to get younger, or to see if like a Tink Hence is ready to come up and contribute. That's what's going to be fascinating for me, is to watch and see where their pitching is going. I think that Goldschmidt is probably gone. Um, I I like, when I've seen the Cardinals, I've liked their young players. I really like Burleson. I think he's a fantastic player. And I know that Cardinal fans hate this guy, but what I saw of Gorman, I liked. Um, there, Kyle Schwarber has proven there is a place in Major League Baseball for a 215 hitter to hit 38 home runs and be on a winning team. So that's kind of where I am with the Cardinals. So, we're all kind of optimistic and realistic, and Shannon wants to cuss. So that's kind of where we are with this panel. So
Shannon always wants to cuss, though. That's what's new.
Well, that's true. No, I mean, I honestly, guys, to be serious, I'm a fan for life, and I'm going to support them no matter what, because, I was telling before we got started, telling Vince that, I went to the game last night, and I'm sorry, there's nothing like Busch Stadium. Now, granted, haven't been to every stadium, but the minute you walk in, plus, there was less than 20,000 people there. I don't even know how many people were there last night, but the way it smells, the way it feels, it's always going to be like magic to me. Always.
nice.
Yeah. And when you're out of it, I've been to Busch Stadium. I think it was in the Joe Torre era, and we were just Augie had passed away. They weren't putting anything into the team pretty much, and we'd be out of it by, there weren't all this expanded playoffs back then. We were out of it probably by mid-August. You go to Ballgate Park and there'd be about 10,000 people, but you had leg room. I'm a big guy. I had a little room to move around in my seat, so it wasn't all bad. And I still got to see the young players play. So I'm with you, Shannon. I no matter what's going on, I find some sort of enjoyment out of it. I have a question for everybody, and there's no wrong answer. I just like to see what you would be thinking if you all were GMs of your own baseball team, and you could start your team with one player and build around that player in today's baseball at this moment in time. What player would you want? Money's no option, to go out and get that one player and build your team around. And I just want to know why you choose that player. There's no wrong answer, but what team would you go get? Our player. Marlo,
Can't be somebody
for your team. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask, can it be someone that's like any ball player from current
from
or
right
past?
now?
Oh, from right now. Okay.
From right now. Yeah. Which player would you go out and start your team with and kind of build around them? Because some people say pitching stops good hitting, and some people say hitting hits good pitching. So is there a guy out there, age? Okay, well, for whatever reason, who would you go get?
And I think it would be hard not to pass on Shohei. I mean, you get the best of both worlds, right? You get a pitcher, you get a hitter. So it'd be hard to pass on that. As much as I'm a Cardinal fan and would love to find somebody on there, and there's so many. I agree with you guys. So many young players I'm excited about for the Cardinals. But man, I go with Ohtani.
If you had Ohtani on your team, you'd have probably a packed house every time he pitched, or just came out there. Internet,
Absolutely.
Sales, of all your merchandise and everything, it'd probably go through the roof. That's a good one. Ray, you got a person you
Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. I messaged my cousin the other day. Matter of fact, he lives in KC, so who I'm going to pick. I'd go with Bobby Witt Jr. for sure. He's he's an all-star and probably is going to be till he retires. The guy is just amazingly good. I'll take him all day long to start my team off.
And you got him for years to come if he stays healthy. That's cool.
Yeah, I actually when I messaged him, I said, "Hey, see if you can tell KC to let the Cardinals sign Bobby Witt." And he goes, "No, we got him locked in for 10 years." I said, "I know, wishful
Man,
thinking."
good for Kansas City.
Yeah,
That's a
good for them.
yeah. Well, Shannon, what about you? Who would you start your team with?
I think I'm going to side with Ray on this one. That is a heck of a ball player, Bobby Witt Jr., and I got to see him. So, I agree.
And he seems like a great person. He's really good with the fans
He does. He seems like
and
a
and,
cool guy.
and being there. And you can't help but if you had a young one to say, man, that's what you got to be like if you want to make the big leagues or something like that. So that's great that the game's in the hands of these really good young players that seem like they are really good people, out there doing a lot in the communities and everything. Well, Max, I'm interested. Who would you start your team with? I know you got a Cubs guy you're big on, but who would you
Nope.
start your team with?
It's gonna be Juan Soto, 100%.
Great minds, genetics. That was my answer.
I mean, he's 25. He's young. He's for 7 years now. He's gonna hit for he's 6, 7 years. He's been doing the same exact thing. He's gonna age well. He's already not athletic, and he's such this great hitter, so that he can't really become less athletic. You can keep him at DH for a while. He's just gonna walk all the time. He's gonna hit homer. He's got pop. I just would have to go with him, 100%.
Yeah, JJ asked me this last week, and I said Soto, and I stick with that answer because um, last year he had a down year in San Diego, and nobody paid attention to him. His OPS was still well into the 900s on an off year, and he's so young and so experienced, and you cannot teach that kind of play discipline by the time a player is in their 20s. They either know it or they don't. And he just came up with an innate understanding of where the strike zone is and how to control the strike zone. I'm not saying he's Barry Bonds. He's like Barry Bonds. He has no problem taking his walks. And if you don't pitch him very carefully, you're going to really pay for it. But I am going to say, if it was a pitcher you were asking, definitely the guy who pitched against the Cardinals yesterday, Paul Skeens. Um, the Cubs have seen him 4 times this year, and that's not fair. And
It isn't fair.
yeah, and I think I was talking to JJ about this the other day when we were off. A lot of players can throw 100 miles an hour. A lot of players have great uh, sweepers, slurves, like he does. The difference with him is that he has such great command of where he's throwing the ball. And he lost yesterday, and the reason the Cardinals beat him again was because they got great pitching and they shut out the Pirates, who just are fielding a minor league team right now. Um, I am just so impressed with his poise and his stuff, and I am very impressed with his quality of girlfriend that he chooses.
Oh, please.
Mr. Superficial. I want to say something about Soto before we move on to Brody. I can't believe, like Max was saying, he's only 25 years old. It seems like he's been around 10 years. Well, it seems like he's been around forever. And he's only 25 years old. My gosh.
Yeah, he started playing big league ball when he was 9.
Okay.
Seems like.
Yeah. Something else. Well, Brody, what about you? Who would you start your team with?
The guy's been injured the past 2 years, I think, but I don't think he's done yet, and that's going to be Jacob deGrom.
Oh, you like deGrom?
Whenever he is healthy, he just dominates. I think he had 1 year it was like a 1.8 ERA or something crazy like that, and it's just he was just mowing down batters. It wasn't even fair, and I don't think he's done yet. But maybe he could be washed up when he comes back. I don't know. I hope not. But he's phenomenal when he was healthy.
So when Dave he pitches, you watch the game if it's on.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, he draws
awesome.
you to the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Didn't
cool.
didn't he pitch this week? Didn't he come back?
I know he was in the minor leagues
Rehabbing.
and rehabbing, but I don't know if he's made a season debut yet or not. I could be wrong. But the stuff I've seen from the MLB, I like on their Instagram and whatnot, he was in their AAA and such.
If I was starting a team, the guy I would want, and I just think he could play anywhere and do anything, is Tatis Jr. I love watching that kid play. He's young, he steals bases, he hits home runs. I like Acuna too, but he's had two big injuries already. But Tatis, I think it would be the guy I would start the team because he's young. But if I wanted to put butt in the seats, I'd get Ohtani. That's the guy. Man, that would just fill the place right there. But I don't know how long he can keep this up, man. He's had arm surgeries a couple times now, but he's a joy to watch. I don't know how long he's going to keep it up, but I'm there for whatever he does. But my answer would be Tatis. So I think everybody had good answers and good reasons why. Vince, you got another question?
DeGrom pitched Friday, 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, no runs. So that was, I'm sure he was on a pitch count. So he'll probably get another 2 starts and finish. I mean, the Rangers are going nowhere. So he'll probably get another couple starts, and they'll probably try to push him up to like that 80 pitch limit and see how his arm holds up. So we've had a full season basically with the rule changes in place. The larger bases, the 2-step offs, the pitch clock, all that other stuff. Actually, this is like 2 seasons. Is this 2 seasons now? Yeah. What do you think about the rule changes? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Do you even notice them?
I don't like it. It makes the game go too fast. And me being a true, real baseball lover, I just feel like for me, I don't mind. I want to go and sit there and enjoy the game. I feel like sometimes it's a little hurried. That's just my opinion, but I absolutely hate the ghost runner concept. Hate it.
It's spooky, isn't it?
It's so scary. And and you were just talking about pitch counts. Can you imagine somebody giving Nolan Ryan a pitch count back in the day? He would have been like, whatever, no. So, I miss old school baseball, but I know I might be in the minority.
And I agree with you to some extent there. The one I particularly do not like is the disengagement rule, because I mean that to me that just takes some of the opportunities away from the pitcher. So I don't like the disengagement rule, because once you got 2 disengagements, man, that runner he's free to go. So that's one I don't like. They keep talking about robot, umps and this kind of thing, and I disagree with that. I'm a little more of a purist on that. I like the pitch clock. I do like that. I don't mind that at all, because I like to keep the batter engaged, keep them in there, and keep the game moving. I do enjoy that part. But man, you take out the human element of an umpire behind the plate, and and I think there'll be some issues with that. There would be for me.
Talking about the robot umpires, this is my feeling on it. You either take the K zone off the TV or you keep it on there and go with robot umpires, because previously, before 10 years ago when K zone really started, if something was called a little outside and it was a strike, I'd say, oh, that looked a little outside, but hey, I'm not for sure. Now with the K zone, I'm like, you're wrong. You need to be in the minor leagues. Get out of baseball. Give me a robot back there. I want Wally or something back there. I want this called right. So I wish, if they're not going to go with robots, just take the K zone away, because it gives me a lot of anxiety. And that is both it doesn't matter who's batting. If the Cubs are playing the most hated team in my book, the Yankees, sorry, Ray. If they're playing the Yankees and I see a pitch that's 4 inches outside and Aaron Judge gets called out on it, it drives me bananas. So take the K zone away so I don't know what's behind the curtain. I don't want to see what's behind the curtain. Take the K zone away. Let me just say, I think that looked good, that looked bad, but I'm not sure. But now you've backed me to a corner where I know for sure that that umpire has missed 8 pitches this game and is driving me bananas. But I'm not passionate about that subject.
He's fired up.
I will say I
I'm
really like the challenge system they have in AAA right now, where you kind of blend both to where you can challenge the really egregious calls, like, oh, that was 4 inches outside, the batter can challenge it, or the pitcher can too, which I think is really nice. I think it's a good middle ground where you're not completely relying on robot umps. You still have the human element, but the batter can challenge, and you can't challenge every pitch. You only get 2 challenges per game. You don't lose them if you're right. But Juan Soto with that, he'd be amazing because he would just know. And my expansion team, which is gonna 5 years, I'm crowdsourcing money, the Guadalupe Anteaters, with Juan Soto as their centerpiece. With robot umps, we're gonna be unstoppable.
We went to a AAA game in Iowa, and they had the system where they could challenge the pitch. You didn't even notice it. It went so smooth. They've got it down to such a science to where the batter will challenge the pitch, and within a few seconds, it's either okay, yeah, it was in the K zone or was out of the K zone, and they move on. So I didn't mind that.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of all these new rules myself. The pitch clock is okay. I think they just need to add 5 seconds to it. The disengagement that can go in the trash as far as I'm concerned. The bigger bases are okay. I'm okay with that. It's not a huge big deal, but the umpiring is just horrible. There was a game about a week ago. There was 28 missed calls, which is, in my opinion, way too much. But
Wow.
yeah,
That's
and
a
then,
lot.
yeah, I think it should, after 10 missed calls, they need to pull that up and bring a new one in or something. I don't know. I
That's a
don't know
good
what else
rule.
to
I
do.
love that idea.
I
The
mean,
relief umpire.
right. Something different, because 28 missed calls, that can swing a game definitely in one direction or the other for a team that it shouldn't have. And, I just don't care for that. But I'm getting used to these new rules. I'll deal with it. Just add 5 seconds to that pitch clock, please.
I like that. I like that rule. Yeah.
I do actually. That would be an interesting concept where if the ump misses so many balls, they just switch counterclockwise. The third baseman comes down like volleyball or something.
Sure,
That's a
something.
great
But
idea.
But like I said, there was a game last week that had 28 missed calls from the home plate umpire, and that's in my opinion too many. That's
right, yeah. No. I mean, if there's the ones where it's like Nick in the corner, and
yeah.
you can see
Oh
it's
yeah,
human error. But like Angel Hernandez called one a couple of years back where it was like 6 inches, outside.
yeah, and
It's the Greek.
there was a game that the Cubs played where there was a pitch and it was low and away by at least 4 or 5 inches. It called a strike, and the guy just looked at him like, "Really? That's a strike?" It's
Right.
not even close. Or maybe give him more challenges on pitching. To challenge the calls from the home plate umpire. And I know they're human and they make mistakes or whatever, but 28's a lot.
So is the rule right now that they cannot? I thought the players could not challenge balls and strikes or argue
Well,
balls
in
and strikes,
AAA you
whatever the
can.
rule.
Yeah, in
Okay,
AAA you
but in the
can. And
major
like Ben
leagues,
says, it goes by smooth. You don't
hmm
hardly even notice it. So,
I,
why it hasn't made its way up into the bigs, I don't know. All these other rules, might as well throw that one in there, I guess. I don't know.
right. I agree
I
with
I
that one.
think the new rules, at least for me, are kind of they kind of become naturalized. It's like when they first became a rule, I hated them. I didn't even want to look at the TV and watch that little pitch clock countdown. But anymore, it's just you just get to the point where you just get used to it. You know, I can't hardly. I haven't really been interested in baseball, or I can't remember a time I was interested in baseball and can remember the pitch clock. You know, not really being there anymore because I just recently really started being into it. But yeah, it's just kind of a part of it now. You know.
Well, I am a traditionalist. I don't like change at all, Vince. I don't like change. The batting helmet. I protested the batting helmet. No, I didn't protest the batting helmet. Anything for the safety of the game, I'm for. Of course, the bigger bags and all that. But, now the stolen base has become another part of the game, which is great. It's exciting. But, I don't know if he's still 60 bases. Was that as good as 40 before? I don't know. I think you just compare it to what everybody else does. If you're still 60 now and the rest of the league's still in 28, that's pretty darn good, But we remember the 80s where it was just Tim Raines and Henderson and Willie Wilson and Vince Coleman and those guys, Lou Brock and Murray Wills and those guys. But I'll be honest, the replay, I wasn't really crazy about the replay, but I like it now because basically you're just getting it right. Is it a home run? Sometimes fans are reaching over and bringing it in. Sometimes it's tough to tell if the ball's foul or fair. If they hit it over the foul pole, there's been a couple of shots. Maybe Otani was one of them. I honestly don't know if it was a home run or not. It was so high and out of there, you couldn't tell. So I do like the instant replay, and you get so many instant replay calls because there's some bang bang plays. I just want them to get it right, even if it's against the Cardinals or for the Cardinals. Just get it right. But I don't know if I would show it on the replay screen at the ballpark because the crowd starts really getting into it. And then they boo when they don't agree with the fans and stuff. So maybe I wouldn't show the replay right there on the screen. But I'm liking the rules. I'll get you like Ray said, I'll get used to it. But I think the game is so great. Don't mess with it. Just let it be how it is, and we enjoy it. And what it is, it's about these young guys trying to get, and Max trying to get these young folks. There are exceptions. I don't know if the younger generations liking baseball like we like baseball. So it's just to get it more exciting, I guess, get the young folks. God, I sound like an old man. Old young folks into the game and watching it. So if it's that what it takes to get the next generation excited about baseball, so be it.
You inadvertently brought up something that sparked a question in my mind. Not a question, but just an observation. I'll contend now, being I've thought about it for a good 1 minute and 38 seconds, that it was a bigger change to the game to switch to AstroTurf as far as stolen bases than it was to make the bases bigger, because we're not seeing guys steal 100 bases yet with these bigger bases. And in the 80s, you would have guys steal 95 bases and finish second in the league in stolen bases. Because you had Coleman, Brock, Raines, Omar Moreno, Ron LaFleur, all kinds of guys. And LaFleur started his career in Detroit, but when he went to Montreal and got on the turf, he joined that I'm approaching 100 stolen base. So maybe the big bags is just kind of evening things up where it was getting closer to in the 80s, because on the turf, it was such a fast game then. Just if you had any speed, running on the turf was like, running on asphalt in the playground. You got going. There was nothing to slow you down. So, oh my gosh, Jamal is here. Hey,
Hey,
I love the
There it is.
NWO.
Jamal,
hey,
you've been
yeah,
on
what's
here.
up?
Reintroduce yourself.
Name is Jamal Gardner. And I attempt to do stand-up comedy, and I'm a Cubs fan.
You would not believe how mean these Cardinal fans have been to me and Max. It's been
Yeah,
terrible.
rough them up.
Please, whatever.
In the words of Charles Barkley, as you so eloquently can just mimic, great. It's been terrible, terrible.
Hey, we we Cub fans don't deserve the ridicule that the St. Louis Cardinal fan give us. It's absolutely terrible, to be honest with you. I mean, what other fan base? Just be honest with you. Whenever they had two pitchers that died during the season, and we canceled both the games out of respect, and yet we still get ridiculed.
I want to tell you this. I want to send this love out to the Cub fans here. I took Brody to Wrigley Field, Blue Jays, Cubs. Cubs won. Couldn't have had a better experience. The fans were fantastic, all generations. It was kind of. I told Brody going to baseball games like going to church, but going to Wrigley Field is like going to revival. That's how I kind of felt about it. Everybody, it was just. We walked around the ballpark. You get that history there, and the fans were fantastic. Of course, I didn't wear my Cardinal stuff.
Why don't you wear your Cardinal stuff? You got to. Got to wear it. Absolutely, got to.
I think I had my Baltimore Orioles stuff on, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I had my Orioles.
Hey, the Orioles. All right, cool. So who is everybody? I'm sorry, I'm late to the party. Look like Hollywood Squares over here. You know what I'm saying? Good. So we got.
Me and Brody, or me and JJ's son Brody, with him, my son Max. We have Marlon with us from Arkansas. We have Shannon with us from St. Louis City. We have Ray from DeSoto, Missouri, and you're coming out of Kentucky.
Murray, Kentucky. Yes. Right. And my girlfriend's a Cardinal fan, by the way. So that's pretty. That's very interesting.
She got great taste. She picked you, and she picked the Cardinals. So I like that.
Oh yeah.
JJ, ask the next question before this goes off the rails.
Sure. You know what? I like to get to know y'all because really baseball, we all have our opinions and we talk baseball. I like this guy, I like that guy, whatever. But I want to know your rituals. When you go to a game, is there something? Do you wear a certain shirt for luck? Is there something you always get at the ballpark? Are you getting a hot dog? And of course, you better not put ketchup on it. In Chicago, you got to put mustard on it. That's right. But what is y'all's ritual for watching a game? Brody, I'll just speak on this. Brody knows if the Cardinals win the night before, I wear the same hat. If I sit in the same chair. If we're having a bad day, I move my chair. I'll change my socks, whatever. I give my all to my team. And I'm so cheap, I sneak Mountain Dew into the ballpark. That's what I do. I drink my Mountain Dew that I bring in. So that's my ritual. What about you, Jamal? What do you do when you go to the park? Is there a certain thing you buy? Do you park in the same spot? What do you do?
Really, the only thing I do when I go to the game is I wear the opposing team's colors in a Cubs hat. So like if I have a Cardinals, how they have the light blue jerseys. Like I have a red Cubs hat with the light blue emblem. And I went to a Rockies game and I got a purple Cubs hat. So that's really what I do. I have a rainbow of different Cubs hats that I wear to the game.
I like that. What about you, Miss Shannon? What do you do? Because you go to a lot of games. You're a season ticket holder, aren't you?
No, I'm very lucky to know someone that is, and he just invites me at times, or me and John. So I don't know about rituals. Typically, like Vince said, I do live in the city of St. Louis, so I usually will go to a bar in Soulard and take the shuttle down because you can do like a round trip shuttle ride for like $5. I always go in the same gate usually, because I know that's where my seats are. And as far as food and beer, it just depends. Like last night when I went, I had a frozen strawberry margarita, and that was quite tasty until it was $23.50 after tip. So no, it's fun every time. I wouldn't say ritual per se. I just want us to win. That's all. And it hasn't happened enough this year.
I know. Keep your head up. We're turning it around.
I know.
Ray, what about you? I know you're more of a listen on the radio guy. Is there a certain thing Do you have a little tradition with that or anything?
No, not really, but I can tell you when I do go to the games, I'm lucky enough to have these two items. I have a Matt Carpenter signed jersey, and when we're doing good, I wear the Matt Carpenter one. And I also have a Tommy Hurd signed jersey. And when I think we really need to win, I wear the Tommy Hurd jersey.
Does it come through? Does it work?
It's 50-50. Well, lately it's been 50-50.
Yeah.
2006, 2011. Yeah, it worked.
Marlon, do you make it to the games much? I know you got a long trip to come up to go to the games.
We make me and a buddy make a couple of games a year. We try to, and man, we always grab a hot dog and a soda outside the park where it's a little cheaper. We do that, so that's always a tradition. Typically, wear the same hat. So we were on a man. I bet we lost 10 or 12 in a row for the games I went to. I bought a hat. At the stadium, we won. So I start wearing that hat. So all right, but not too many real traditions. Just like I said, eat the same food. Usually park in the same areas, that kind of thing. But
that's about $100 right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Max, what about you? What do you do for the Cubs? You make it to Wrigley Field occasionally, don't you?
Yeah, probably about once a year. Yeah, I don't really think I have any real like superstitions or things I do. If I am going to a game in person, I always like a week in advance. I'll try and like plot out who I think is going to start that day for both teams. And for the Cubs, it got kind of weird because we're putting Justin Steele, we're reinstating him from the injured list, so I have to do it again. I don't know if they're just going to shift everyone over one or what. But typically, that's the only thing I do. Just try and get to know the pitcher I'm going to see on both sides. That's about it.
Brody Jackson?
I don't really have any rituals. No,
Nothing,
no, I think about it. No, not really.
No.
I had a shirt and it was like a real nice dry fit one, but I pulled it out at Milwaukee, and that thing was full of holes. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the dry fit just got dried one too many times and just yeah, I don't know.
Okay. What about you, Vince? You got anything you do special? You're out there cooking in your lab outside your barbecue area.
What I like to do is I find out we're pitching against, and then I make a miniature facsimile of them, and then I take a hat pin and poke it and do some kind of a French Creole rant or something.
No way.
That's about it. But I don't really have a ritual, but like as Max can attest, we don't have a big house, but we have a TV like in every room, except the bathroom. We don't have a TV. We've even got one outside by the deck. I've got one in the nerd cave with me. And then we got one in the living room, one in the master bedroom. We're making a TV room right now. I don't know why, but we even got a TV in the kitchen. If the Cubs won like a couple in a row and I realize, hey, they've won these last two and I watched it from the deck, I have to watch the next game from the deck, and I will try to do that until they lose. So it's not really a ritual, but if they get rolling and I recognize there's been a pattern, thinking, I think I'll watch it on this TV. That's kind of how I do it.
Very cool. I was just wondering. Well, Vince,
let me ask you guys this. We've talked about how we feel about the season. In 3 years, where do you see your team? Stop talking all at once.
But, I think I hope anyway, new general manager for the Cardinals. Like to see the younger guys really performing well. So hopefully that continues. The optimism is we pick up some pitchers, maybe some young guys some studs that can come in and keep us going. But we haven't been able to do that recently. But yeah, I think management needs to change for us. I think that's my opinion. Not worth much, but
I agree. I'm hoping that we have a new GM, a new manager, and some of our young guys that are, we're seeing sparks and we're really seeing the fundamentals and, the building blocks and, it has to get better. It's going to get better, right? So, yeah, I'm just hoping the young guys and then new leadership should really help.
Okay.
Jamal, where do you see the Cubs in 3 years?
Um, hmm. I just want more bullpen arms. That's really like bullpen. Just give me some guys that will just throw 97 and above that actually has control. That's what I need. And then if we keep our core, like we're good. We're just hit and miss. It literally it felt like it was like we wouldn't give up any runs, but we couldn't score. Then we would give up a lot of runs, but we score a lot of runs. And we just it never about until like lately. And then it just feels like a little too late. But I think people are I think the GM and everything, I know they're gonna listen to themselves, but they're gonna hear the fans though, because we already know if we had that bullpen, we blown like 23 saves or something like that. Yeah, like, and we're 5 games behind in the wild card. We blow 5 less games. Like, we're right there with the Mets and the Braves. So, but I say 3 years. I mean, we're a big market. You know, hopefully playoff contenders. Always, hopefully, a World Series contender, but at least the playoffs. At least that should be the benchmark. That should be the benchmark.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that. I mean, it should be the team won't look too different for the most part. I guess Happ and Suzuki will be gone, but Council will probably still be the managers. Dansby will still be on the team. Probably a lot of the guys who are in AAA right now. We've got 5 top 100 prospects in AAA right now. We'll probably see some of them come up. Uh, Hopefully Kyle Hendricks isn't still making starts for us. I'd be a little bit worried about that. But I mean, I think Imanaga would probably still be on the team, and same with Steele. So I don't think the rotation would look too different either. But yeah, ideally we should be at the point. We've got a good farm system. Ideally, some of those guys are going to come up and contribute pretty soon. So I would think playoffs, and if not, then they should just fire everybody.
We right there.
That
No,
got a little
I'm right
drastic.
there with him. I'm right there with him. I'm right there. I
Burn it
couldn't
down.
agree more. I'm right there. Yep. Yep.
I don't know what our Cardinals are going to look like in the future. I know in 3 years, probably Goldschmidt will be gone. These Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson will be gone. So I have no idea. I think some of our younger players are going to move up, but we've got to go out, like, get pitching. Starting pitching has always been, like JJ said earlier, just our downfall and our weakness. We can always produce outfielders. We can produce, decent infielders. So in 3 years, I couldn't even tell you what the Cardinals are going to look like. I'm hoping they're a division winning team, but it's up in the air for me. I don't know.
How about you, Brody?
I believe in the next 3 years, I want to say we can win the division, but the Brewers look awesome. However, if they lose Adames, we might be able to sneak in there. But I think we could easily be high playoffs. I don't want to say we're gonna be National League champions or nothing, but I think we have a good chance to make a really good playoff run in the next 3 years. Management, like they said, is still a problem, and pitchers. But I think Lucan Baker's going to take over first base. As much as I love Goldie, Arenado's been heating up when we really don't need him anymore. But yeah, we're a great team. If we can just get consistency down, I don't see why we couldn't make it to high playoff games
In the next 3 years?
in the next 3 years. Yeah.
Well, hey, I believe the children are the future. That's what I believe. I believe that three. I believe my just hope is that in 5 years, when September comes around, we're within 5 games of a playoff spot to make it the games mean something, because baseball is so much fun when you're playing September ball and it's meaningful games. Now, I don't see us going and getting Corbin Burns and all these top guys, and I don't think we're ever going to be like the Dodgers. The Phillies go out, the Mets go out and spend all that money. The Cardinals have never been that kind of team, but I do think we can get good pitchers, but we always prided ourselves on defense, and we've had some really good years with Supan and Todd Stoudemire and these guys, and just world class defense and making the pitchers better that way, and outstanding catching. Molina was so good, we got used to it. We kind of took it for granted. And when you see these other catchers, I'm not talking about Contreras. I'm so proud he's on the team, but you just look around the league. Not everybody's Yadier Molina around baseball. And now, in the old days, they just caught the ball. The ball came to them, but now they're going out and getting it, and of course, Contreras got hurt doing that too. It's kind of scary where they're trying to like frame those pitches. But the Cardinals, I like the young players. This J.J. Reinhold we drafted, he's looking really good, but it's easy to look good in A-ball. It's hard to do consistently in the big leagues. But I'm excited about the young guys we got. I really like I think Jordan Walker, that's the whole season encapsulated right there. This kid should have been up all year playing in the big leagues. And when just last year, they had him playing third base in the minors. He should have been playing the outfield if that's where he's going to play up here. And so it's just been miscommunication and just I don't know what's going on in the organization. It seemed like we're all on the same page all the way down in the minors. But we do have some good pitching prospects. I think Palante is going to be a starter next year. He's really earned it. And let's see, this Quinn kid that has moved up from like A-ball to AA this year. I think he might be in AAA now. And Tinkins and McGreevy came up and pitched one game, and then they haven't brought him back up. They've kept him down there, so maybe they're getting innings. But when you have a young team, you just never know. Too many things have to go right. I've always been more partial to a veteran team with a few young players on it. But it looks like the Cardinals are going to be real young coming up here real soon. So 3 years, if we can contend, I'd be perfectly happy. And sometimes you catch that fire, that lightning in a bottle, and then things just happen. Right now, the Tigers seem like they're one of those teams right now where everything's just kind of coming together at the right time. They're making that September run right now. It's kind of exciting. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on the Cardinals, and I just hope we're competitive. That's the word of the day for me. Go ahead, Jamal.
Jamal, you got your hand up?
Yes, because I've worked 20 years in a grocery store, and for my anniversary present tomorrow, I'm going to a Redbirds game, so I'm going to see your young talent. So I'll just give you
with you.
So I'll see if I can maybe get some autograph. If I can get some autographs, like like I'll send like, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? But like maybe I can get like a few autographs, whatever. I can send it to y'all if I can do that. So I think
I think you guys have some great young talent too. I think the Cubs are loaded with a lot of young talent. I love watching that Michael Bush play and that PCA kid. Lightning, man. He is. Him and Scott are going to be. Me and Vince talked about this for years, or for a while now. That for years, those guys are going to be fantastic out there in center field, playing in the outfield. So it's going to be exciting to watch that. PCA just started to hit though, and now sky's the limit with that kid.
Yeah, I will say this. I've been a Cub fan, I guess, since birth, but I've been actively a Cub fan for almost 50 years now. And I've seen Sandberg, I've seen Rizzo. The most exciting player that I had seen to come up was Javi Baez. Just completely alien. And barring injury, I will say in the next 3 years, aside from Ohtani, the top player in Major League Baseball is going to be PCA. He does everything. Last night, 2 strikes. He got a bunt base hit down the third base line. Nobody attempts to bunt with 2 strikes, and he does it with ease. He can hit with power. He can run like the wind, and nobody. I have watched the best center fielders uh, for the last 50 years. Nobody gets a jump on a ball like he does. I swear to God, we could put me in right field and he would still catch all the balls in right field because he's that good. Um, and I see Jamal's agreeing with me. Max, would you agree with me? I
Yeah,
This
I
guy
really would.
is
He's great.
more. He's above the hype. It's ridiculous how good he is, and he knows it. And I like that. He's cocky. So
You're good. He's a good hype man. This is the hype man.
and I'm not that much into hyperbole. I really do believe he is going to be a marquee player. He's in a big town. He does everything. He's got a great personality. And what is he? Is he 21, 22?
He's
Yeah,
22.
yeah, he's 22. Yeah, he's young
And he looks
and
like he's 12. So
he's quick.
yeah,
Man,
unreal
For the
player.
Cardinals, Mason Wynn, our shortstop,
he's nice.
yeah, he's far ahead of where I thought he'd be. And that arm, a lot of times he just turns it into another gear and throws guys out at first on that double play. So if he can get a steady second base partner, look out. We could have a nice duo right there in the middle. Maybe an Ozzy Her kind of thing, coming up again. So I'd like to see that.
A fun fact I learned today is that PCA and Mason Wynn were teammates in Little League. They're on the same team.
Oh,
Yep.
Really?
Wow,
Uh-huh.
That was a good team.
man.
no doubt.
California baseball.
Hey, I
They're
was
all
on the
stars.
same little league team with the Manasco brothers. And when they tried to bunt, they'd have their hand like that and hit them right in the fingers. They'd send that ball like a champion. And
Dang.
they were quick at with getting up to get their snow cone. They were the fastest guys I ever seen go up there and get their snow cones after the game.
That's what's up.
Little shout out to the Manasco brothers.
JJ, you got any other questions?
Well, I'm a memorabilia guy. I got a lot of collections. I got autographed baseballs and pictures and cards. And how many bobbleheads I got? Like 130 of those bad boys.
Yeah, some.
I took down his baby pictures. I put up the bobbleheads are everywhere. So, do you have anything in your collection you're proud of? Like, what's the biggest thing? Do you collect anything? And if not, is there something you'd really like to have? Because just recently, that Babe Ruth jersey that he wore in the World Series against the Cubs, where he supposedly called a shot, it went for like $24 million. Is there any sport? Because I know, Jamal, you're a big sports fan in all sports,
Mhm.
Is there something like if you had as much money as you needed, what would you like to have for your personal collection? Or is there anything? Some people just aren't memorabilia collectors.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna tell you what I wish I had, and I'll tell you what my girlfriend has current.
Ooh, okay.
I wish I just had the 2016 World Series autograph baseball. World Series baseball. Just give me all the signatures. That's cool. Now, like I said, my girlfriend, she's a Cardinal fan, and our anniversary was 5/15/23, May 15th, 2023. So what I did, I gave her an Albert Pujols autograph baseball, a Jim Edmonds, and a David Freese because that's their numbers. So she really liked that. So yeah, I'm a sucker for her though. I'm a sucker for her,
You must be romantic.
even though I don't like a squad, like I gotta pay respect. So giving her the machine, the Golden Glove and Freeze landing over there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that helped me out a whole lot. That helped me a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
lot. Yeah.
You guys were playing Barry White that night.
Yeah. It was a fun night. I was doing more. It was like I was flipping like Ozzie Smith before a game. You know what I'm saying? So like it was cool, but like But no, like I wish I just had that autographed baseball, and I also want a Sammy Sosa autographed bat because I still am Team Sammy Sosa. I don't care what anybody says.
That's
I
cool.
love Sammy Sosa.
Sammy, I loved him running out in right field and the fans reacting to him,
Mm.
and very classy during that home run chase, with McGuire. It was really cool seeing him that, we know what was going on, but at the time they were so classy to one another. I loved it.
Would that bat have cork or not cork in it?
Oh, Vincent, you stole my line. I was going to ask. Same thing.
Oh, it's got cork in it because it's gonna have champagne in that thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do it, baby. Pop a bottle.
Well, Marlon, is there anything you have in your collection, or is there anything you would like if money was no option? Is there something? It could be a Razorback, it could be college sports, whatever.
I'm not much of a collector. I really don't spend much time thinking about the memorabilia thing. I'm sure there's something out there, and somebody will name something. Yeah, that's great. The Sammy Sosa bat. You think, something from McGuire would be, that'd be awesome. Um, but I'm just not much of a collector, so
That's cool.
you chose the wrong guy on that one.
That's all right. More for me.
Hey, I do have a card that I wanted to show you, and I cannot find it. I have misplaced it. I will come up with it. It's a double. It's got Kurt Flood and Lou Brock, and it's a pretty neat card. A guy at work gave it to me just here, and it's in pretty good condition. So, but I'll find it. I'll show that to you.
Cool. Two big people in the Cardinal history there. That's
Cool. Yeah.
Ray, is there anything you have or?
Oh, well, I don't know if you can see behind me back there. I got the bookshelf full of stuff. I got bobbleheads on the top. I've got signed balls on the second to the top. I've just got different Cardinal stuff. This is one of my favorite things. I'm going to grab it real quick. I don't know if everybody can see it or not, but
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
Right there.
it's
Very
St. Louis Cardinals
cool.
#1 fan license plate. I really like that.
Ray, you got a card, a rookie card.
I got the St. Louis Cardinal from the Louisville Slugger. I got the St. Louis Cardinal bat from the actual factory.
Nice. I've never been there.
It was pretty fun. I just recently picked up another bat. It's from the 2011 series. It's got all the Cardinal signatures on it. It's a limited edition 500 count bat that I thought was kind of neat.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Got the ring. Got to have the rings, of course. World Series rings.
Of course. Yeah.
But I just got a lot of little stuff. I got, some signed balls from Ozzie, Red Shandies, Matt Carpenter, Mark McGuire, Ozzie Smith, just a few. But my pride and joy is I got a Nolan Ryan, Jerry Kuzman rookie card. It's not been graded or anything, but I love it. And the one thing I wish I did have would be a Honus Wagner card. But, I know that's way out of my price range.
Yeah, we all want one of those.
Yeah.
I think there's 8 of them.
If anybody wants to, if you got a PSA 9 or 10 that you just want to gift me, I'll gladly take it.
Hey. Very cool.
But do what?
I was asking Shannon, but go ahead. Was there something else?
Oh yeah. No, well, I got a pretty cool. It's kind of hard to see, but it's on the wall there. It's a clock, but it also tells the date and the temperature inside the house. It's on the wall part there. It's kind of neat.
I see it. That's cool.
Yeah, it's different. And then over in that direction, I got some Cardinal lunch boxes and just different odds and ends of stuff. I don't collect a whole lot, but when I do find something, well, just right here off to the side, my Cardinal sock cap, got that. This is my Cardinal area, and I also collect coins, so this is my coin area too. I call it the CNC corner, Cardinals and coins.
That's what I love about doing this. We meet so many people, and they show, hey, I got to show you this, and then all of a sudden, there's stuff I didn't even know existed and things like that. So that's what I like about it. Very cool, Ray.
Yeah, when I was over at your house and I seen all your bobbleheads in the bathroom, I was like, oh my God, that is quite a collection. When I had to use the restroom, I felt like 130 Cardinals were watching me go.
That's my thinking room, man.
It is. That's quite a collection of bobbleheads you have there.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh man, you made me blush on that one.
Oh well,
Well, Miss Shannon, what do you collect anything? Is there something you would like if you could?
I Yeah, so between me and my husband's a huge Cardinal fan as well and a baseball fan. We have a lot of stuff like Ray, just Cardinal odds and ends. Downstairs is my work office. There's mugs and there's baseballs and just all sorts of stuff between the two of us. However, I have to tell you guys, and I think Vince knows this because we've talked about tattoos, but I have Tony La Russa's signature tattooed on my arm. I'll show you guys if you give me
Yo,
a
Man, right
second.
there.
gotta
Let's
see
see
this.
if you can. I don't know if you can see it, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
yeah.
How
So,
yeah.
That's
about
what's
that?
up.
so,
That's what's
Man,
um,
up.
that
and
means
I know that people think he was a jerk and but he was. I've met him probably 5 times. His wine and whiskers events. I'm a big pet lover, and he couldn't have been cooler. And it just so happened that
That's
I
what's
had him
up.
sign my arm, and the very next day was winter warm up, and he's like, "Oh my God, you did it!" And was like, "Can I take a picture?" And I was like, "Yes." So he's just really cool, and I always admired him. So
That's cool. That's what's up.
great. Well, Max, what about you up there?
Yeah, I'm not really a big collector. Obviously having a Honus Wagner card would be insane. The coolest piece of memorabilia I've ever been able to physically touch, I guess, is I have a friend and his dad he's a surgeon. And I was over at his house and I noticed there was a bat in the corner, and so I have a picture of it here. It's an autographed Mark Grace bat, and there's a personalized message on it. It says, "To Dr. Olery, turn and crush." And I just
Yeah,
absolutely
wow,
love it. It's
that is cool.
That is
And
cool.
yeah.
it's so funny because he's in St. Louis. He's not even a Cubs fan, but he just has this signed Mark Grace bat in his basement. Just awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty darn cool,
That's
man.
what's up.
Hey, bro.
I am a huge collector. Uh, not so much in baseball memorabilia. The only thing I have is a graded 9 Paul Skeens Bowman First Chrome. I am
Ooh,
usually just
very nice.
a big collector
Oh.
in firearms. That's the most I collect. But but yeah, I was thinking the Hornus Wagner card, or I guess I could combine the firearms and Cardinals and get I don't know, like a rifle or something signed by all the Cardinals or something. That'd be pretty neat.
I have to talk about this. I've always been a collector. And there's not much stuff I love, but I love rock and roll. I love music, all music. Love music. I love baseball, but there's something, and anybody knows me knows this. I love professional wrestling. I always have. When we broke down in high school, what do you want to be when after high school? I said I want to be a professional wrestler, and the counselors in Arkansas went, "Son, we can't help you." That's what I wanted to be. So I do have a few items. I have a fork signed by Abdullah the Butcher, and he stuck me in the throat with it. I mean, it was. He didn't really give it to me, but it looked good. Got bit in the forehead by Ox Baker. Huh? How about that? Yeah, I washed
Bit.
my forehead. Well, I wouldn't
Wow.
have washed it anyway, but
Oh,
I took it over the
wow.
week, man. Ox Baker. I met
I
Ric
need
Flair
a
many
tetanus
times, and I
shot.
tell you what, Jamal, I have to say this because I know you're a wrestling fan too. There is no athlete, and I say wrestlers are athletes that has meant more to me than the Nature Boy. If he was on TV, I wouldn't leave. I don't care if if they going to have Brody. Hey, Ric Flair's talking. You hang on over there. We're going to see what Nature
Yep.
Boy's got to say. So I always said, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, I would get the night in the NWA late 80s. He had a purple robe that kind of tied over, and that's with Nature Boy. Mr. Wrestling 2's wife made it for him, and that's the one I want because he's got 2 of his robes in the Smithsonian. So I have a lot of wrestling stuff, right, Brody?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And I have a bathroom where if you go in there every month, it's like a big thing where I put a new picture up that's autographed, and it's like, me and Jeff Jarrett. And, I went back and met Jarrett. We wanted one of his guitars, and he signed it and everything. So, man,
Oh, that's nice.
no,
Wow.
Nice.
but that's my thing, and that's what I like. So, That's it. So, Vince, what about you?
My prized possession is this 1989 John Moses card.
What?
Now, my prized possession is actually the one Cardinal, one cup, one beer clock that I have.
Nice.
Little commercial there. I don't, yeah, I have some stuff that I don't have anything that I think, oh gosh, I can't part with that because I've collected different things. I collected Mad magazines for years, and then I got to the point where it's like, what am I going to do with all these magazines? I put them in my mom's yard sale. I collected Pez dispensers. I at one time had the second largest Pez dispenser collection in the St. Louis area. I was such a Pez nerd that we went on vacation and I forced my kids to go to the Pez Museum. And they they hated it. But anyway, but I got to a point where it's like, okay, I don't have enough room for Pez dispensers. So I kind of collect stuff and then I get rid of them. Yeah, I have that nasty one too. So, so but this sounds weird because I have thought about this. I thought, what would be something that would be of historical significance, not just sports related, but of historical significance. And the thing that I came up with was I would like to have two ball caps signed by two players. National League Dodgers cap signed by Jackie Robinson, and American League Indians at the time hat signed by Larry Doby. In baseball.
That'd be amazing.
Baseball collection, that's a historic thing. And I'm a huge Larry Doby fan. I watched probably every interview I could because he's the forgotten person. He went through the exact same thing Jackie Robinson did, but nobody knew about it because he was in Cleveland and he started, I don't know, maybe a month or two later than Robinson. It wasn't that far off. So I've always had a lot of love for Larry Doby, and that would be something that I think would be really cool to have.
That's dope. That'd be dope.
You know who a big collector is? Is Geddy Lee from Rush. He's a huge baseball fan, and he's got two baseballs signed by John F. Kennedy. He threw out first pitches, but he, being a good president, he threw one out to each team, and they were autographed. And there was only two that exist, and Geddy Lee's got them both. And he's got the ball that the Beatles signed at Shea Stadium, one of the last shows they did. So he's got all four Beatles signatures on it. That's pretty darn cool right there.
That's pretty
crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
cool. Nice.
Yeah. Well, when I thought you asked me, I thought it was just Cub Cardinals. Okay, so since you said that, okay, hold on. So I want a Randy Poffo Cincinnati Reds card, Macho Man, whenever he played for the Reds in the minor leagues. I want Stan the Man Musial's harmonica. I want let me think what else? Like there's a whole I want a vinyl record that was blown up in the Disco Demolition Night with the White Sox. I want one of that. Yeah, I want one of them. Yeah. I like as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, I can go. Yeah, that's what I. Yeah.
You know what? Because Jamal said that, I think I'm also a big fisherman. There is one Hall of Famer, and that's actually just any baseball player of all time, but he happens to be a Hall of Famer who is in the Baseball Hall of Fame and the Fly Fishing Hall of Fame, and that is Ted Williams. I don't know if anybody knew that fact or not,
that's
but
awesome.
Yeah, he was huge. Apparently, back in the day, cool. He was like on the cover of all these magazines, going down to the Everglades and fly fishing for tarpon and stuff. And I think that's a really cool thing to get like a rod or something signed by him. That'd be time from the past. Obviously, you can do that now, but I think that'd be a pretty neat piece.
And that's our favorite player.
I love Ted Williams.
We love Ted Williams.
And I'm going to throw a shout out here also for my second most wanted thing. JJ and Vince can probably attest to this. I would like Tony Pruno's basement.
Oh, yeah. Man, is that something? He can do it. We got to go back. You guys, we ought to go over. We're going to go over one day and surprise them and just go in there, but it's something else, man.
It is. It's a shrine.
Yeah, it's a shrine.
It's amazing.
Aside from the Hall of Fame, it's the neatest baseball thing I've ever been to. And it's almost like sensory overload. Every little detail that he pays attention to.
Yes.
It's like this has to be your full-time job to keep this basement going like this. But yeah, that Ray is completely correct. So we do need to wrap this up, but I'm going to ask one quick question to everybody. Who is your all-time favorite player? Well, you two, the Jacksons have already answered.
Ted Williams.
So,
yeah.
Marlon, favorite player of all time?
And probably Stan Musial.
Good answer.
That's a good one.
He's a great one.
And,
Yeah, I got to go with Ozzie Smith. That's my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Ozzie Smith. Ray?
I'm going to go with Hank Aaron.
Oh, man.
All right. Jamal?
Ken Griffey, baby. Oh,
the kid.
Max?
I'm gonna have to say Mike Trout.
Mike Trout?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick just one, to be honest.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Favorite all-time player, Ryan Sandberg. And
oh, yeah.
I am so thrilled because I'm on a lot of Facebook groups, and about 10 times I've made a comment on a post and he will like it and it makes my day.
Oh my God, now that's awesome.
And I tell my wife,
That's amazing.
He did it again. He liked it again. And it's
like a kid.
Him. And what I like about it was, like, someone did a post saying that, Kyle Hendricks, we shouldn't be saying anything bad about him. He's a World Series hero and he's been great, blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, I think you can appreciate someone's accomplishments, yet be realistic and say he's got an ERA pushing 7. It's probably time for him to get out of the rotation and just flat out retire. I don't see anything wrong with that. But I've made comments like that about different players, just trying to be objective about it. And Sandberg is like the few of them. I'm thinking, oh gosh, that's pretty cool because
you're such a nerd, but that is amazing.
That's cool. That's cool.
So awesome.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's it makes my day. Just yesterday, he liked another one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm as happy as a little girl. Anyway, anybody else want to add something before we wrap this up? I do want to thank everybody for joining us for episode number 100. Thank you. Anybody got any last words?
Just want to say congrats again to you guys. I'm looking forward to another 100.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, ditto for what Ray said.
All right. Thank y'all so much. It's been so much fun. And I got to meet, I knew Marlon and Ray, but I've got to meet you nice folks. And this is what it's all about, just getting together and talking baseball. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all so much.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me because we met during the comedy open mic and you literally was just like, yo, hop on. I was like, okay.
I felt we were kindred spirits.
We are.
Yeah, and we were just started talking baseball, and it just went half an hour went by like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and now I've met more people. I can't wait to, Cardinal fans trash talk me. I trash talk back, and my girl, and I can't win with my girlfriend because if I win, I lose. If I lose, I really lose.
Right.
I like her.
Right. That's a smart man. Smart man.
I want to tell you something. I've been married for 16 years. The two roughest years the roughest year was 2011, when after the World Series, my wife once a week would watch the World Series on replay. And I was like,
yes.
this is not going to last, dear. I was calling my lawyer. Hello. And I know the judge would have sided with me if we would have had divorce proceedings in Chicago. So. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and keep watching, and we will push for another 100. Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
y'all very much.